G'day friends, welcome to another Page in 10 video. My name's James, welcome back to my channel, welcome if you're new. Today we're going to do a Page in 10 that you're going to hate me for, so feel free to skip it if you don't want to do it. And this is literally just going to be a bit of, brush control practice disguised as something fun. We're going to play a game of Snake. I'm going to try a few different versions, but the first one is really going to test you. So I'm going to set the clock and then we'll just get straight into it. By the way, if you have something with a grid on it, it might be slightly more helpful than doing this on a blank page, but either way, grab a brush pen for this, preferably one with longer bristles that like splay apart. Do you know what I mean? Like an actual brush. Or just do it with a water brush, like a paintbrush. Brush pen would work better because you don't have to keep re-dipping it. Anyway, let's start. 10 minutes. Okay, we're playing a game of Snake and we're doing brush control. So I want you to start at the left-hand side of your page and I want you to press with an even pressure to make a thick stroke. Our aim is to spiral around this page with the same line pressure and the same stroke width, and as neat and as tight as possible, create a spiral. So we're going to get thinner as we go down. So now we're going to go down here. I want this line to be thinner than the one next to it. But do not touch it. We're playing Snake. You can't touch your own tail. And when we get smaller and smaller and smaller, you'll just start to see how crazy it is to try and control it. I actually find it's a little easier when you're doing the even heavier brush pressure because you've got that resistance against the page. Oh, I'm pushing the brush. I should be dragging it. But it is also kind of interesting to see that as you get... Oh, I'm going to come up for a second. As you get over one part of the page, you have more control on a certain stroke. Like my downstroke is a lot easier for me than this pulling up stroke, and especially this one, this going sideways to the left stroke. I find that one really hard. Oh, can't touch my own tail. I'm going to get thinner again. So this downstroke, much easier for me to control. To a lesser extent, this one, the bottom one that I pull to the right, is a little bit easier as well. I mean, easy, relatively. The one where I pull it up and then where I pull it to the left is just not as easy. And you can see, because you can see the lines get significantly wonkier over here than they do over here. I mean, maybe they don't actually. Maybe I'm just seeing things. It's also hard because I'm talking. I feel like if I was just concentrating, it would be a little easier. You can lift your pen if you want. You don't have to. Challenge yourself to do it all in one stroke. But instead of going down, like, because I do want to pull this one down, I find that easier. Make sure you're trying all the different strokes. So pulling this one up. And then this one to the left. Remember, we're getting thinner as we go. So you should be getting pretty thin at this point. That's what my personal trainer says to me. I'm joking, I don't have a personal trainer. That's what I say to myself at this point in my diet. There will be a point where you can't really go thinner than the brush tip will allow you, but these, especially this Pentel one, this can go pretty thin. I've accidentally touched the tail once, and ironically it was on the stroke that I feel the most confidence with the downstroke, so maybe my confidence is leading me to be arrogant with that stroke. I've got arrogant strokes. This is supposed to serve no function except playing like a very, what do you call it? Like a very manual version of Snake. You know that game we used to play on our Nokia 969, whatever those phones were called. And yeah, hopefully just get you feeling a little bit more confident with a brush pen. I would never even suggest that people do this as practice, but I think it's kind of fun. It should be an interesting effect, especially with the thicker lines going into the thinner lines. It kind of looks like you're traveling down a random hallway just full of stripes. Very Willy Wonka-esque. And I really like them tightly packed in. This is just a square, but you can do this with all these different shapes and get a really wild looking effect. And if anyone asks you how you do it, just say that I just came up with it. It was just freeform, I was just flowing. When in reality, you just pick a shape and you do the exact same process inside the shape. Like you can do it with a star, you can do it with a heart, you can do it with a circle, especially if the shapes start overlapping each other. If you do have a page that is not finished, that you would just like to quickly finish, and it's got some random space that you don't know what to add there, you can fill the negative space with this pattern as well, or this technique. I'll show you that if we've got time. What are we at on the clock? Oh, we're at 5 minutes. Great. I think I should have time to show you that. Getting right in there now. Actually, it would probably be interesting to do this again, where I let myself do the brush strokes all the way that I like them, which would mean that I would lazy Susan the book. Sorry, Susans. I would, there we go, really tiny. We did it! I would do all downstrokes, all pulling downstrokes, and I would go like this so that it would be all a pulling downstroke. And I feel like that would be much neater. But also, I mean, there's always a bit of charm to some wonky drawings. The ones that I was talking about with shape, excuse me a second while my allergies run me ragged. Oh, sorry with these allergies. The ones I was talking about with the shapes, grab a pencil, just for a guide, if you want it. I'm going to put, oh, no, I said I was going to do it with, if I had some negative space somewhere. Where do I have some negative space? Here. So let's just pretend, like, you know, I said if there's a shape, let's just pretend this negative space is its own shape, right? So if we go all the way up to our little ornament there. Oh, I've gone backwards this time. You'll be left with a really odd surface area to cover with the spiral, and sometimes it will close itself off. Like, see, we probably can't go back through there again without touching the line, so I just finished my snake up in this section, and then I'll start a new snake down here in the section that's still open. See, look, we just closed that off again. I'll start a new snake. And that's how you fill a whole negative space with it. If you want to do some overlapping lines, put a star and a circle. This is very Squid Games, and a square. And I'm going to start with each shape, each of the cross section, like the little overlap, I'm going to start with that independently. And this will look kind of crazy and hectic once it's finished. Obviously, the longer you spend on it, the tighter you can get those lines. But it serves really no other purpose than just getting used to your brush pen, so don't actually think that if you get the lines super close together that it's going to be much of muchness, because it's not. It's just going to be the same squiggle, just cleaner. And now I'm going to go around this section. And this is just a lot more randomized. But it's fun. It's just definitely a fun pattern as well if you're just looking for something intricate. If you like a lot of black and white line work, it's a fun technique to get a really interesting pattern that you probably wouldn't necessarily be able to think up in your head very easily. Might even bring this around the edge to disguise the shapes. There we go. I think I'm entering a flow state. Somebody wake me up. I'm supposed to be filming and chatting and talking through the process, but my mind has just completely zoned out. Maybe I've just found my new flow-inducing exercise. It used to be the leaves, but now it's this. No, I still love the leaves. All right, I think that's good. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, I don't want to sneeze. I'm gonna have to end the video quickly. We've still got 1 minute left on the clock. Cancel. Hang on, let me sneeze for a second. Block your ears, everyone. Oh no, I think I caught it. I swear. I swear 50% of these page in 10 videos have me just being attacked by allergies. It's real life. We're sitting at the desk together. We're experiencing real life together. Today, this is a page in 10. This was our very analog manual version, whatever you want to call it, of the game Snake. Hopefully you had a good time doing that, and maybe you feel hopefully you feel slightly less intimidated to pick up your brush pen next time, you feel like using it. I know that this used to scare me a lot. I love the brush pens now. Oh goodness, can you hear my nose? I've gone so nasal, so Australian. I gotta go. This is a mess. Thank you for being with me. There's a whole bunch of page in 10 videos in the playlist. Go check them out if you want to make a whole afternoon of it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.